The second coming of Africa is the topic for this session. Relax and listen. The second coming of Africa is indeed important. We must mention it. It is now time to mention it for Africa to learn, for Africa to hear. For Nigeria, the biggest country in Africa, the greatest country in Africa, the giant of Africa, to learn. Nigeria has been torn to pieces. Nigeria is right now down and out. But Nigeria, I assure you, will rise. Rise up and take its leading position. This is a country that is so blessed. Nigeria is one of the most blessed countries in Africa. And the second coming of Africa is to demonstrate that Nigeria is indeed the greatest country in Africa, the greatest country in the world. Nigeria is great and it is mighty. It is part and parcel of the cradle of human life on earth, the cradle of the world. But this Africa that we talk about today was torn down. It was torn to pieces. It was disrupted. Its glory was disrupted. Africa was heavy and powerful. 5,125 years ago, ancient Egypt in ancient Africa was the leading country in the world. There was no country like ancient Egypt. You never heard that the Pharaoh visited any part of the world. The Pharaoh never left Egypt, never left Africa to visit any part of the world because Africa was leading. Africa was the greatest country, but Africa was torn to pieces. Africa was disrupted, and everything in Africa was packed away, was lifted away, was taken away to other parts of the world, to other parts of Europe, and that is the position. Even the first library on earth was in Alexandria, in ancient Egypt, in ancient Africa. That library was disrupted. In fact, the whole of Africa was disrupted. Everything about Africa was disrupted 5,000 years ago. And this disruption has continued until 2012. It has been in place. But heaven has stopped it in 2012. From 2012, Africans must rise up. Nigerians must rise up. Because beginning from 2012, for another 5,125 years, Africa has come to be. Nigeria has come to lead. No problem. Nigeria has faced punishment, has faced a lot of embarrassment, a lot of suffering, but it is fitting because for Nigeria to rise up and stand, it must go through suffering. It must go through what it has gone through today. Nigeria is so blessed. Nigeria has all the resources in terms of weather. Everything is perfect in Nigeria. Everything is beautiful in Nigeria. Nigerians are so great, so happy, so joyful. They are great, but they have been disrupted. They were enslaved. They were carted out of Nigeria. The great people in Nigeria were carted away, destroyed, beaten up, and all that. For 5,125 years, it has continued. And a lot of people don't know this, it happened. So, this is the time for Africa. This is the time for the cradle, which was not known. The cradle, is pre-human life on earth and post-human life on earth. In other words, the ancient Egyptians in ancient Africa characterized this as the Ouroboros. The Ouroboros is the snake or the serpent following its tail. That was what the cradle was represented with. The cradle, the truth. The cradle is the truth. The cradle is the center. The cradle is the core. The cradle is the pre-human life on earth and post-human life on earth, which must be unified, which must be integrated. Actually, Albert Einstein, the physicist, talked about the unification theory. But of course, theory cannot lead you to unification. Unification is not a matter of theory. It's a matter of realism. It's a matter of reality. Theory and faith are of the human mind. And the human mind is religion and science. So the integration or unification has to go to the center, has to go to what the Buddha referred to as a middle way, and what Jesus referred to as the narrow way, and what I refer to as the heart way. The heart way is super civilization, the super civilization of human life on earth. So the heart way is how man can go into the super universe above, how man can go into liberation. Because the human heart is the rule. That's what Africa ruled with. That's what enabled Africa to rule human life on earth as it did. The human heart is about 10 to 30% of the brain, which is not known today, which nobody has, captured, which nobody has realized. And the human mind is about 1 to 3% of the brain only. That's what is reigning now. Everybody's talking about human mind, human mind, human mind. That's not good. That's not so good, because that makes man, talk to the physical body. But you are not the physical body. I am not the physical body. You are something greater. You are something deeper. You are something vaster, something more powerful than just 1 to 3% of the brain, than just the human mind, than just the intellectuals, than just the academics. You are something greater. You are of the human heart. You are of conscience and consciousness. You are of conscience and super consciousness. You are of liberation. You are the liberated one. You are that kingdom of heaven within you. You are that vast super universe above. You are that greatness. Africa is the only continent that knows about this, that knew about this for all of thousands of years. But Africa was disrupted. 5,105 years, it was disrupted. And that disruption led us into time and space, led us into what Europe called the Big Bang universe. But now we must return to the super universe above, which is within you, which is the kingdom of the divine being within you. That is the kingdom in which the divine being within you lives. That is the kingdom in which the divine being, the divine human, the divine self that lies within you lives. It is said the kingdom of heaven is within you. That is the issue. That's what I'm talking about. That is what brings liberation. That's what Africa is bringing to the world. Africa, Nigeria must rise up again. Africa, Nigeria must rise up again, because for the next 5,105 years, Africa and Nigeria and all of Africa, all the countries of Africa, must rise up. I say Nigeria because Nigeria is the king of Africa. Nigeria is the leader of Africa. Nigeria has been down, has suffered like every great person has suffered. That every Nigeria has carried the world, has gone through suffering, but the time has come for Nigeria to rise up. I urge everyone to look up 2012 on the internet, because that is the year that the worlds of time and space came to an end. That the so-called Big Bang universe came to an end. To give way to the super universe above, to give way to the eternal universe, that beautiful universe, that glorious universe, that paradisiac universe that lies within you, to come back in place. So everyone must rise up, and that day is so great. That year is so great. The day I mean is 12, 12, 12. On that day I was caught up and spent hours in the heaven before I returned back to human life on earth. So this is the issue, and I urge everyone to go to the internet and look up 12, 12, 12. The day that man became subject to truth, subject to realism, subject to the credo, subject to eternity, to beauty, to everything beautiful of the center, not the left and the right, but the center. Left and the right is religion and science, but the center is realism, is liberation and everything good, clarity and good. This is the message. This is the reality. This is the era that has come to be right now. I encourage you to indicate if you like us, to view this channel, go and look at what is there and see what I'm talking about, which is going to continue, which is going to get better and better as we do this for the glory of man, for the glory of Africa, for the glory of all humankind, because Africa is the crowd. Africa must lead. Africa will give leadership. Africa, the second coming of Africa has come. And that's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much.